Tara, whenever you're ready, okay?
All right, hold on. I'm not popping up. Ah, there we go. Have you ever thought about what radiation can do to you and your body? Today I will be talking about the effects of ionizing radiation. In August 2015, I had radiation, and it was the worst sickness I have ever went through in my entire life. The three subjects I will be talking about are biological materials of radiation, source of radiation, and the radiation effect, the radiation doses. The effects of radiation is unpredictable. Whether you get a small dose or a large dose, there will always be some biological effects. Radiation causes ionization of atoms, which will affect molecules, which may affect cells, which may affect the tissues in the body. The direct effect means cellular components critical to the survival of the cells. Indirect effect are caused by the reaction of radiation with the water that makes up the majority of all the cell's volume. There are a bunch of other ways you can get exposure from radiation, such as television, water, natural gases, consumer products, and smoking cigarettes. The other two are external and internal. External exposure means the radiation that comes from the outside into the body. The internal exposure means when the radiation goes through your skin, whether you breathe it in or you eat it. There are a lot of different doses of radiation, whether you get it prescribed by the hospital or you get it through another exposure like we talked about last paragraph. Absorbed dose is normally exposure through sunlight or X-rays. The normal dose is 20 mgy. Equivalent doses takes the damage properties of different types. This dose is 20 msv. The effective dose is the potential for long-term effects that may occur in the future. This dose is 15 msv. In conclusion, there is a lot more information that we didn't discuss, but radiation is so unpredictable, and we never know what's going to happen. When I had radiation, I was sick for a week straight. When I was told that I had to do this, she said, "Are you ready for this bumpy ride? Because you'll never know what you're going to feel like." I'm done.
That was really good.
That was nerve-wracking.
I'm so nervous. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Bye.
1 second. Okay. Everywhere we go, there's some type of media that we are absorbing consciously and unconsciously, usually through books or magazines, newspapers, and even television and radio. Most of the time, people fail to think about the underlying impacts of the information that the media is telling us. Do you guys realize the messages behind the advertisement and television shows that you're watching? Today, I want to share with you the effects of sexual objectification in the media of women, which include demoralizing self-worth, supporting of sexist ideals, and even harassment that leads to a disastrous society. The first effect of sexual objectification is the degrading self-esteem that an individual faces. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, self-worth is defined as a feeling that you are a good person who deserves to be treated with respect. Usually the media portrays women as sexual objects, and according to the sexual objectification of women advances to theory and research, sexual objectifying women has led to self-objectification, body shaming, appearance anxiety, body disappointment, and even eating disorders. Women tend to question their own beauty when they look through magazines and see half-naked women advertising for clothes and they have nothing on. And these women fail to realize that the women in the magazines are usually photoshopped, and this creates a unrealistic representation of beauty. A second effect of sexual objectification in the media of women is the blossoming of sexist ideals. The rise of the sexist principles in our society allows men to think that it's okay to target women with sexual remarks and even behaviors. This usually leads to women feeling unsafe in public places. For instance, a research experiment done by psychologists Calorero, Rachel, and Jost concluded that women report at least 1 to 2 sexist incidences per week. And most of these incidences include traditional gender role stereotypes, demeaning comments, and of course, sexual objectification. Along with sexist ideals comes gender inequality and stereotyping. This is usually when men think they deserve more respect, usually in relationships and even in the work environment. Um, Sexual objectification in media reinforces stereotypes among women, such as they are more for domestic use, such as cooking and cleaning. For instance, according to Sexual objectification of women advances to theory and research. Sexual victimization of African American women in movies has led to the stereotypes of Black women being as sexual provokers and even savages. And in addition, same-sex relationships has been so exploited on the media, such as television shows, and books, that it has grabbed men's attention to thinking it's a fantasy that they want to be with 2 or more females. The third effect of sexual objectification of women in the media is harassment, and this has created a disastrous society. Harassment is something that is definitely caused from sexual objectification of women. According to Evangela and her research on feminist perspectives of objectification, this harassment and gender inequality that women face is strengthened with men's consumption of pornography. This pornography that men watch usually supports the idea that women want to partake in all kinds of sexual activities. Researcher Mac Keenan outlines pornography as the graphic sexual exploitation of women through pictures or words that also includes women dehumanized as sexual objects, things, or commodities, enjoying pain, or dehumanized with rape, being tied up, cut up, mutilated, bruised, or physically hurt, and put in positions of submission or display, reduced to body parts, penetrated by objects or animals, or presented in scenarios of degradation, injury, torture, shown as filthy or inferior, bleeding, bruised, or hurt in a context that makes these conditions sexual. This usually permits men to think that rape does not violate a woman, and extreme cases of sexual objectification usually has led to sexual assault and even aggravation. Overall, sexual objectification of women in the media has created a blueprint for a disastrous society. Sexual objectification encompasses degrading self-worth of an individual, encouraging sexist ideals through our society, and invoking harassment among the female population. Maybe now you'll know a little bit more about how the media portrays women and objects them sexually. And you'll know that this is happening on a daily basis. Thank you.
Okay, that was really good.